Hello, I'm Theodora. Welcome back to my channel. So there's this song that the wordings is just like after all I've been through, I still have joy. I don't know what the rules on this space is, so I would not want to sing it. But I'm here to tell you that after everything you've been through, you will smile again. After all I've been through, I still have joy. You know what's funny? People look at me and they think, oh, she's fine, she's cool, calm, collected, she's got everything together, she's completely fine. Life has just been good for this one. No storms, no shaking, no oh God, what's going on here? Hey, I just smile because if only they knew. Hey, if only they knew. Now, I've been through different seasons of my life, one of which was when having a child wasn't just a desire, it was like a full-time emotional job. You know, you're praying, you're calculating days, you're googling things that doctors didn't tell you about, you're drinking things like don't taste like they were created by God. And somehow, you still show up like a human being. Hey, after, trusting, you still just come out looking cool, calm, and collected. You just show up and you look all nice and all googly and smiling, looking so fine, like one of God's creations. But then there was the waiting. The waiting. The kind of waiting where every month feels like a result day. For an exam you did not write, but somehow you're checking results again and again every month, checking to know how far. If this resonates with you, just take one chair and sit down. Then there were times, the trying times, the treatment, the hope, that this time it will be different, and then the quiet disappointment that flows, and it's like, here we go again. And then, for me, joy came. The kind of joy where you don't even know how to behave. You're smiling, but then you're cautious. You're grateful, but careful. You're celebrating, but whispering, oh God, thank you. Let it stay. Let's go on this journey together. Then it came. What I had been praying for, what I have been trusting God for. But then, passed. My baby passed. My baby passed. And if you've ever experienced loss, this kind of loss, there are no right words for it. There are no right expressions for it. You just sit there and you are like, God, what just happened? Now, this is where people get confused about me. I didn't suddenly become the visible face of grief. I didn't disappear. I didn't stop living. I didn't wear my pain on my forehead like a name tag. For some people, that was confusing. Because it's thought that when and if you're grieving properly, people should be able to see it. The world should be able to see it. But let me say this, grief is not always loud. Sometimes grief is silent, very organized. Organized grief, the kind that wakes up, brushes your mouth, have the bath, you go to work, replies messages, but inside there's a whole new conversation going on. Sometimes grief looks like you're laughing with people and later you're thinking, wow, I actually laughed today. Sometimes it looks like you're doing everything right, but you're feeling like something inside has shifted permanently. Yes, something actually shifted. Sometimes grief looks like strength, real strength, not the motivational speaker kind of strength, real life, the kind of like, oh God, help me survive today. You just keep going. You just keep doing what you have to do. If I may be honest with you, there's a danger that comes with that kind of grief, the silent grief, because when nobody sees it, you tend to start sinking in slowly, quietly, and that is where depression lies. Not shouting, just whispering, stay here, don't try again, sleep in. What's the point? You've done enough. Just give up. Throw in the towel. Let it off. I had to catch myself because I realized that if I sit here so long, this can hold me down. So I made a decision, not a loud one, not a dramatic one, a very quiet, intentional one. I said, yes, this has happened. Yes, it hurts me deeply. Yes, I do not fully understand it. I cannot process what I'm going through. But then I would not stop living because of it. I would like to pause here to talk to you. If you are in that place right now, the place where you're tired, you feel all is lost, you exhausted, not just physically, you are emotionally tired, you are mentally tired. That place where even small things feel so big, so heavy. That place where you don't even know how to explain what you're feeling. You can't put your feeling to words. I'll tell you something simple. You do not need to fix your whole life today. You do not need to bounce back all at once. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to understand everything. But you don't need to do one thing. Don't sit there forever. Let me make this practical. Sometimes you hear, be strong, and you're like, how? How can I be strong? Let me share what helped me. Real stuff, what I did. One, I allowed myself to feel, but not to settle there. I cried. Oh, I cried. But I didn't build a house there. I didn't stay there. There's a difference between today is hard and this is my life forever. One is the truth, and the other is a trap, a big trap. Two, I reduced pressure on myself. I cannot come and kill myself. Some days, my biggest achievement was just getting out of bed. And that's okay. I accepted it. See, healing is not a competition. It's not a marathon. It's just you and you alone. Three, I protected my space. My personal space is mine. You can do anything you want to do out there, but that freedom just ends right in front of my nose. Don't bring any negative vibe around me. Don't bring your own ideologies around me. It's my protected space, and I protected my space. Not everyone was allowed into my personal space. See, one thing I did when my son passed, I turned down visits, loads of visits. Yes, of course, there are some people I couldn't tell, no, don't visit. But most visitations, I turned them down. I did that for myself, for me, for myself, for my mental health. It's actually what I needed at that time. Shebin, I mean, loose speaking. I understood that people meant well. They just wanted to check on me, to grieve with me. But at that time, what I needed was just my personal space. And I humbly said no one should visit at that time. I didn't answer all calls. I didn't really welcome people into my home. But then, of course, I had some very stubborn friends who will not hear, and they will find themselves into my personal space. But then they expected my wish. They knew I did not want negativity around me. It's already painful for me. I just lost my child. And even if when you come, you fake the smile. Yes, fake it. Because even me, I was faking the smile. Shebi, they said fake it till you make it. I was faking it, but I was okay with it. I did not want negative vibes around me. I made people understand this is my space, and I didn't want sorry. And my close friends understood what I wanted, and they helped me to uphold it. So even when people saw me, maybe I was outside the house, and you are like, oh, I'll just tell you, hold your peace. And they understood. There were some people that their face was even more sorrowful, more grieved than mine. And someone told me, if this is what you want, I cannot cry more than the bereaved. Yes, you cannot cry more than the bereaved. Hold your peace, and thank you for understanding. So you have to understand that it's your space. It's very important for you to understand that not everybody needs access to you when you're grieving. Some people mean well, but would still drain you. So I chose peace over expectation and silence over pressure. I kept moving little by little, small step, not big steps, very, very small step, but intentional ones. I ate because I didn't want, when they call you when you're grieving, everybody's like, have you eaten? My dad would always call me, have you eaten? He's used to me being lively and bubbly. So when it happened, I tried to be myself, be lively and bubbly. I didn't want plenty questions. So when he calls, and even if I just finish crying, I'll dry my tears and I'll be like, hello, sir. And he'll be like, I know you. This is not the real you. Is this the real you, or are you faking it? Something like that. I'm like, what do you expect? So I ate. I had my bath. Hey, I loved having my bath. One thing I did most and I loved most when I was grieving was having my bath. Because do you know why? When I'm in the bedroom, you won't check on me. I can't answer your call. And I can cry as much as I would like, because tears is water. The shower, shebi, is water. So I would come out looking so refreshed, and nobody will look at me and say, oh, she's crying again. The shower was one of my go-to areas. I loved it. That's the secret I just shared with you. So I had my baths. I go outside, though not always, but if necessary. Another thing I did was shopping, comfort shopping. Not really spending a lot, but just go out, pick one or two things. I was aware that it was more or less like comfort shopping, grief shopping, but I allowed myself to do that. And it felt good to me When I get home, I'll maybe reply messages if I wanted to, or sometimes I won't even reply messages. You may think it's nothing, but those little things, those small steps are how you come back to yourself. It helped me. That's how I came back. Doing those things consistently and daily, I kept improving on them. At first, the food may taste like tar, but force yourself to eat a little. Just a little. Tomorrow you can increase it. You just do those little things to try help you get back to normal, because me, I can't stay there and remain there. Now, those were some of the things I did to come back to being myself. I refused. One more thing. I refused to let my thoughts grow wild, because you see your mind. The mind, if you allow the mind, you will see yourself in somewhere you didn't plan to go. When thoughts comes like it's over, this will never happen to you, like the time I was still expecting like having children, or when I just lost my son and thoughts wants to come see your life, see what have happened, I just stop it immediately. Hold it there. It's my life, it's my thoughts. I did not allow my thoughts to run wild. I didn't entertain them. Not every thought deserves a space in your life. Nip it, not clock it, nip it in the bud. Stop it. Do not entertain such thoughts. Now, what number am I in now? I don't know, but maybe it's number 6. I don't know. I held on to hope. You see this thing called hope, faith. I held on to it, even when it did not make sense. This hope, faith, is very important for everyone. Very, very important. I held on as though my life depended on it, because yes, my life depended on it. If you don't have it, you don't have anything. Even when I was waiting, when I was trusting my waiting season, trusting God for my kids, I just kept believing. I just kept hoping. I just kept trusting that one day my time will come. Things I did, I'll talk about those things I did while trusting God for conception. Not in this video, but in another one. I held on to hope. Even when it didn't make sense, not loud hope, the kind that says, I don't understand, but I'm not done. This cannot be the end of my story. I held on to hope. And this is where it led me to. I don't look like what I've been through. Yes, not because it did not affect me, but because I refused to let it define my life. I'm not just the woman who waited. I'm not just the woman who lost her child. I'm still the woman who is becoming. And if you're watching this, so are you. Your story is not over. This is not where it ends. For me, I have decided something. The finish line is not where I stop. The finish line is not when I stop. The finish line is when I win. The finish line is where I get to carry my children. So I'm still here. I'm still trying. I'm still trusting, still believing, still standing. And you do not need to have all the strength right now, but you do need to have the strength to take just one step, one more step. Take that step. Don't let what broke you keep you from becoming. You don't have to look like what you've been through, but please don't let it stop you from living. Once again, I'm Theodora. My grief, my life, my look. Have a nice day. And by the way, if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Why don't you subscribe and turn on the notification bell? Have a nice day. Bye.